Welcome to Sports Connection. I'm Darrin Joins, Williamson County Schools Athletic Director. I'm here with Tate Mathews, talking all kinds of Wilco sports this week. Region 1, Region Game 1 in the books. Now, I think it's a little bit odd, Tate, that we play this region game and then it's back to a non-region game.
I know.
Doesn't that seem a little bit odd?
It does.
Wonder why that is. And by the way, welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you. Glad to be here. Rough week. Not rough week, but, had to work overtime this weekend for sure. I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, that happens in like the college level, but usually they've played 3 or 4.
Correct.
And then it's Cupcake City and then back to
That's right. Then it's
But this is like, hey, we're building up to Region Game 1. Great. And then the next week we don't play a region.
I was getting ready to crack an Elon Vanderbilt joke, but I'm not going to do that. So, I don't know. That's a good question. I'll have to find out. But I'm with you. I don't really like that, But then the cool thing is, for us, as the fans, not for the coaches, the back half of it is region game all the way pretty much. So, I don't know. That's a good question.
Let's start off with a little volleyball.
Ooh.
We're getting rolling in volleyball. Brentwood, Battle of the Woods. Maybe it's wood.
I'm going wood.
Brentwood 3, Ravenwood 0. So I was a little surprised that it was that big a margin. It was 25-12,
Yep.
25-16, 25-23. So the Bruins head over to Ravenwood and say, hey, we want to stay in this conversation. I know everybody's talking Coach Young and Nolensville, but we want to stay in the conversation that we're going to be there at the end, and I think they will be.
I do too, but now, me personally, I don't take a whole lot from this because I'm pretty sure this happened last year.
True.
And then came tournament time, Ravenwood and the Lady Raptors said, not so fast, my friend. So, if I'm a Brentwood fan, man, I'm pumped up. If I'm a Ravenwood fan, I don't read too much into it.
We got plenty of time.
Pump the brakes.
Plenty of time. Hey, some stats from that.
But I mean, you kind of agree with
No,
that,
I
right?
get it.
Yeah.
I get it. And it's early, still early.
Early.
Brentwood stats, Ashley Miller, 19 kills, a name we've been hearing for a while. Dylan Salser,
Yep.
31 assists. I'm going back to Callie Cummins, 16 digs. And C.C. Miller with 2 blocks. So great week for Brentwood showing out against Ravenwood. Hey, Franklin gets a couple of wins. 3-0 over Centennial. And that 3-2 over Hillsborough. Hillsborough's pretty good.
Pretty athletic.
I mean, they are. They're not like cream puff city when it comes to playing a Metro team. But and what I liked about this and Coach Beebe's squad is they win the last 2 sets, 25-12, 15. I love the 5th set, only going to 15. And it was really exciting back when it wasn't rally scoring.
Correct.
Remember those days?
Oh, yeah.
You had to be serving to get a point, and you were there for like 4 days to watch a match. I do like the rally scoring, but I like the shorter, the fewer points in the 5th set. Makes it kind of fun.
It does. It changes the atmosphere in the gym. But I think, 2 great wins. And I think with where that program is and the way she's building that thing, I think that's something you get very excited about right now, And so to go get the sweep over the Battle of Okay, it's not the Battle of Franklin's, is it? But I think that's huge. And then, like you said, closing it out against
That may
Hillsborough
be the best arguments you've had yet on it.
I love what she's doing, man. Now you got 3 killers in there, but they're closing the gap. I love it.
Nolensville. The more things change, the more they stay the same.
Correct.
A couple of 3-0 wins over Summit and Brentwood. And look, I don't know much about the tournament in Guntersville, Alabama. I can tell you this, it's a good tournament, though, because they finished 3rd out of 32 teams, which means it was a quality tournament.
Quality tournament. And Guntersville, a great catfish restaurant on Lake Guntersville, top of the mountain. Catfish. They've got the sides, the white beans, John Wild approved for sure. Hope the Lady Knights got over there and got to.
Maybe that's why they finished 3rd.
Maybe so.
They had
too much cornbread, too much white beans. But yeah, I mean, 3rd out of 32. I'd like to know who those 2 are.
I'm sure they're really good. Rickert, 15 kills. Knox, 9 kills. Allred 7 blocks, Peyton Neal 16 digs. That was against Brentwood.
Hey,
And a lot of different people stepping up.
16 digs.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Man, that's active.
That's some floor burns.
Yes. They're talk about reloading, man.
Yeah, it's not going to let up for a bit.
No, I've heard that freshman class is something, and Coach Young's got something really, really nice going on.
Things are cooking at Nolensville. They have been for a while. I feel like it's getting stepped up a level.
I know, man. I know. Well, just go out there, drive down Nolensville Road. Place is booming.
I mean, John Street will give you a tour. He's like Mr. Nolensville ambassador.
Oh.
We love him from Street Tuxedo. Does a lot for us here in Wilco. Every time I see him, he says,
"When's game day coming?"
Got a game day coming to Nolensville.
I know.
He's honest, man.
Hey,
and we probably need to listen to him for a lot of different reasons.
I'm telling you that DJ, and that student section
easily, the band guy.
Yeah,
he's impressive.
When we went for, which is funny it's funny how things have played out. But when we had that game day there, South Gibson, they stood no chance. Right, it was their first year, one varsity game. They stood no chance, and the coach was Scott Stidham. And, dude, they brought
And Will Hester.
Will was the head coach in Nolensville. Stidham was the head coach at South Gibson. Dr. Looney, I don't know how you ever top this, parachuted in the game ball, landed on the shield. I mean, maybe a little bit of a...
I feel like we could get Dr. Qualls to pull off a tandem one with somebody.
Oh, he'd do it.
I think he'd do it.
He would do it for sure. It was just cool. But anyways... They brought it. I'm with you, man. I think I'm with John Street. He's not Mr. Street. John Street. I think they need one. I think they would not disappoint.
I think October 7th.
Who's that? Paige?
That one might be circled. Maybe.
2 steps ahead, 3 steps ahead.
Let's talk a little soccer. Ravenwood with a 1-0 win over Nolensville. Again, everybody talking Nolo when it comes to soccer, and Maddie Podolsky, rightfully so. What's Ravenwood do? They shut them out 1-0. Leah Johnson with the lone goal for Ravenwood. Nolensville already has wins over Brentwood and Franklin. So Coach Mancini and the Raptors, as usual, in the mix.
In the mix, but I think this is as tight as it's ever been. I really think
it really is.
Yeah.
You talked about Indy, who beat Franklin.
Right.
They're a better team. We've got a lot of teams in this county.
Page and their region, not so much.
Well, listen, I know you're a soccer connoisseur, so to speak. I don't know if that's the correct word to use, but I'm using it. Our girl Reagan Vaughn against Giles County 7-0 had a hat trick, which means 3 goals. Stepped it up.
You get a hat trick against the Blueberry Bombers from the WNSL Soccer League. That's hard to do.
I'll be honest, I didn't know Giles even played soccer.
Well,
at one time though, weren't they? Was that the one they were talking about, the state championships this past week, like the first state championships by sport? I feel like Giles might have been in the mix in soccer back when it got started.
I don't ever.
I may be wrong about that.
Yeah, maybe Forrest or something. I don't think Giles did. I know they don't take it real serious.
Well, they obviously don't now.
No. Thanks for playing.
Let's talk a little golf. Brentwood boys and girls wins over Nolensville. Sam Johnson with the 3-under. Skylar Calloway, great golf name, +6. Boys and girls from Page. Listen, Page is rolling.
Yes.
In golf. They get 2 wins over Independence. Our boy Chubbs Wilds.
It just gets it never gets old.
Brooke Bennett +4, and then Ravenwood boys and girls is good wins now.
Yeah.
They defeat Dixon County, and we know Coach Palace and what they're doing at Dixon County in golf. Ravenwood with a couple of wins. Michael Hake 4-under. Hannah Ruth Walton +2 for Ravenwood.
Page, we got to get. They're the number 1 in the AP poll right now. Have to be.
I think they are. I'm going to say that 1-2 is Page Brentwood in both. I thought it was Ravenwood, but hey, I talked to Coach Craig this morning. He said, look, don't count the Raptors out. It's not playoff time yet. It's not postseason.
Mr. September is chuckling.
That's right.
While he hears this.
He's ready. He's ready. Let's talk a little football.
Okay.
Tate. I mean, it was a big week.
It was a big week. It was a crazy weekend.
Well, let's talk to the audience, Tate, about what made it particularly crazy. It wasn't just because it was the first week of region games. There were some other factors.
Mother Nature decided to say, I'm going to play a part in this. There were several games around the mid-state, not just in the county, but rain delays, late start. We're able to finally get them started, and then rain delays, getting the game finished. Many teams stuck around for quite some time afterwards, trying to wait it out. Nothing worse than having to come back and continue those games, and had to come back several games and play on Saturday. One game was even played on Sunday. So, the region games, you want to get them finished. Really hard to. That's a tough call for the coaches, the admin, everybody. But region games really need to be completed. And then, you have to come to some sort of a middle ground, and people, obviously if you're up big, you're going, why are we even doing this, right? You do have to get a half of football in. So most of them, if not, they had all had a half, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, so you have to have a half in for it to count. Then the rest of it, So we came back and most of them played on Saturday. One played on Sunday, and there was one team that dang sure was glad they came back and played on Saturday. Different outcome.
100%. Let's start with the WCTV game of the week. Brentwood with the 21-0 win over Summit. This is one of those that they had to come back. 59 seconds left in the third quarter. The score was 21-0. They finished the game on Sunday. And, here's the thing. I think it's easy to judge finishing or not finishing. In football, you've got 10. That's all that's guaranteed is 10. It's not like basketball or baseball where you've got all these games you play, and we'll just call it we have these other games we're going to play.
Right.
I think it's easy to say, let's just call it a game, and it's probably easy to say, let's come back. I don't think that's an easy decision either way.
No.
It's just not. So before everybody armchair quarterbacks it,
That's right.
you got to put yourself in that particular position. Now, Brentwood,
What does the king say? Walk a mile in my shoes. True words.
True.
By a wise man.
Very wise. Talk about the Brentwood touchdowns with Tate, which all happened before the delay.
Yeah, that was a little interesting to me. They were all on Friday night, not Sunday, but the run game, Coach Finch has said it. He's talked about the offensive line, but he's also talked about his running backs. He really likes his tandem of Hamzi Nassar, newcomer from Texas, and they are sure glad that he showed up. He's
Transfer portal.
Wilco loves the transfer.
We love the
portal.
transfer.
But he's a big physical guy. He had over 100 yards, had a touchdown. Then Jackson Lowe, I think, was at 90 yards, and they both combined. They were up 40, maybe even 40 plus carries. And then like I mentioned, he didn't get in the end zone, but they've got Trey Dorse comes in there too. So really a three-headed monster at running back. But that's how they're going to have to win, is running the ball. Grant Nelson continues to develop and get more comfortable as the quarterback. I like this, that he's got a great connection with Matthew Manning from previous weeks, and now Ryan Barrett hit him for a touchdown score. So good to see him developing other relationships in the receiving game. Here's what I took from it. Summit outgained Brentwood 237 yards to 209, and they beat him 21-0. And if you remember, Blackman outgained him total yards too. So that's 2 wins where they had less total offensive yardage. And
Which means they're efficient.
they're in those 2 games. The one loss, Father Ryan, not so efficient, and not to pick an open wound or a closed wound, but you know what I'm saying? That's the recipe right there. That's how they're going to have to win football games. Did a great job of it. Friday night because they didn't score any points Sunday. Defense played well Sunday.
Well, shout out to Austin Harvey, you mentioned from Summit, 14 for 26, 113 yards, 57 yards rushing. So if my math is correct, that's 170 of the 237 yards. Hey, and we got to mention, because it's always big time, the WCTV Play of the Week.
Shotgun single back set. Harvey takes the snap. Looking long down the field. Waiting for the official's call. This looks like it may have hit the turf, but the official is saying interception. From this view, it looked like the ball may have hit the turf, but that is why, folks, the officials get paid, and it was called an interception on the field.
Yep, Adam Fontesha always making a heck of a play, heck of an effort.
We need replay.
Glad we don't have instant replay on the field down there, but that's okay. It was a fantastic effort. And
Well, he sold it too.
Hey man,
Came up confident.
that's right.
It's not
Hitting
his
the ball.
fault.
It's not his fault. Hey, he's just out there making plays.
It was a nice play.
It was a great play. He's a great defensive back. You know, he's a great football player, but great defensive back. You see why it was so important for him to be on the defensive side if that's the way it could play out. So, yeah, great play, great hustle, great acting job, and there won't be an asterisk next to it.
Hey,
That was the great camera work.
Great camera work. Hey, before we move on, this week's gem. Now, it's one Summit's not going to be real happy about. They play the next 5 games on the road.
Yep.
Tough for a young team.
Tough for a young team, and don't forget, they played the first one on the road, even though it went on the road.
Speaking of not opening up closed wounds.
Hey, man, it'd be okay, you know? So,
I mean, your turf field was a week late. I mean, I get it. I'd get the.
and man, it looks good now.
I'm telling you, when you look at it on the WCTV game of the week,
beautiful.
It looked. We're all proud of it. We are.
Very proud of it. Should be. But you know what, man? Here, and I'm sure, you know, Coach Coleman, they've played 45 games in the last 3 years. So you're going to have to go on the road in the playoffs. Might have to go on the road back-to-back roads in the playoffs.
That's right.
So might as well get used to it now. He'll find a way to, you know, make this a positive.
Really, the only, especially when the game ended, how it played out, the only really good game of the week was Centennial Independence. Centennial leading at home 14-10 when the weather rolled in, had to come back on Saturday. And I'm going to be honest, because I was there Friday and Saturday. They looked more in control on Saturday.
Yeah.
But what ends up happening in that low-scoring game, Trey Hartwell, we know he's got the ability to do it. He breaks free on a 77-yard rushing TD halfway through the third. And the way the Centennial offense is built, especially late, probably not going to score quickly.
No.
So once they got that lead and then they had a possession or two they didn't score, it was more like, okay, we're pressing, we're trying to get the ball down the field. And then that last possession, Independence really just pinned their ears back and it was over.
Came after him, yeah. Man, that was, you know, heartbreaking for Centennial, exhilarating for Independence, man. You do like seeing big-time players make big-time plays. Trey Hartwell did that. He's a physical dude. And to see that 77-yarder, I'm happy for him because I think because he's so big and physical, you maybe lose sight of the fact the guy can run, you know. And 77-yard touchdown against Centennial's defense, he was moving.
You heard it here first. Independence, if you go, let's just break the season into halves and throw Tresvant out. I mean, they're going to score a lot more points as the season progresses because first time, but they've got a lot of weapons.
Yeah.
They really do. The run game's solid, the pass game's solid. Obviously, have some receivers stepping up. One Hudson Cobb, great play there. Cody Pagash to Hudson Cobb for a score. I feel like as the season progresses, their ceiling is probably higher in that they're not there yet, because of that coaching change. That makes a difference. It really does. And by the end, I see them hitting on, and I've got to say that, right, because I predict them to finish second.
Well, of course.
So,
and, I mean,
I've got to go with that.
That's right. I mean, stick to your guns. We respect people like that.
Don't back down.
Well, and you might be right.
I think I will be
Heck,
right.
they might win the thing.
Second,
okay. But yeah, you're right. And there's a lot of people playing positions that they have not played before. So, yeah, their upside is very, very high. I just, I hate it for Centennial bad, man.
It's interesting you say that because that's what I was going to say. When I watch these matchups when we play one another, obviously sometimes I'll know the coach better, or maybe I coached against them, or whatever it is, or I was at the particular school. But usually when it's over and I go to the house, it's no big deal to me. I'm like, hey, it was WCS game, we won, so to speak. But I left that game feeling terrible for Centennial.
Yeah.
Not that I was upset that Independence won.
No.
But I'm telling you, you can just, Cougar Nation, relax. You will be a playoff team. They're good.
Yeah,
They've got a good team. Dominic Reed, 2 interceptions on defense, and they also had a block punt that Miles Johnson ran in for a touchdown. In a lot of ways, they did everything but win the game.
Yes.
Which, listen, when you've had a period of time where you haven't been a playoff team, I was talking about this with somebody at the game that night. It's almost like you just have to get over the hump. You just have to, not necessarily luck one out, but you just got to win one of these.
Yeah.
And then when you do, the confidence goes up, because I still sense that at the end of that game, maybe Independence believed they were going to win just a little bit more. And it's nothing Centennial's coaches are doing. It's nothing like that. It's just you go by what you know. And what they've known is coming up short in these games. They're going to get over the hump. They'll be a playoff team.
Yeah, I think so too. Again, like you said, the block punts, interceptions, turnovers. They've had a lot of those in these first 3 weeks. Athletic guys flying around with the ball, having fun. So they just got to learn how to close out that tough one. They were one big play away from doing it. So learn from it. And you got a lot of football left to play. We still got the playoffs left to play for, and this is something that you can build off of. But yeah, that's what we said. Totally happy, exhilarating for Independence, heartbreaking for Centennial.
Franklin 6, Ravenwood 31, a game that was 10-6 at the half, Ravenwood leading. They come back on Saturday, and Ravenwood 21 points in the third quarter. That's the way it ends, 31-6. Chris Parson, apparently he had a pretty good Saturday in the third quarter.
Yeah.
18 for 22, 160 yards, and a touchdown to Ethan Smith. He rushed for 101 yards with the touchdown. Carter Pace with the rushing touchdown. All 3 touchdowns in the third quarter, Parson had something to do with.
Well, I take that for he's getting ready for his collegiate career.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm a Saturday
Playing well
guy.
on Saturdays. I play well on Saturdays. Here's the thing that stood out to me. Carter Pace also, I'm pretty sure it was Carter, took a kickoff return back. That's either 2 or 3 kickoff returns so far for the Raptors.
I believe it was Carter.
You don't just do that, right? So there's something going on with that kickoff return team. If I were in a Coach Hester probably wouldn't appreciate this. If I was playing them and I did not have a kicker that can put that thing in the end zone 90+%, I'm not kicking that thing deep because again, this team's good at kickoff returns. I wouldn't be kicking it to him.
No, let's go the other direction.
Yes.
Franklin, they did have this bright spot. It's a bright spot, but it's probably bad. It's the bright spot. Elijah Bagwell, 22-yard field goal and a 46-yarder. Franklin, again, as long as they keep that chin up, I think they're going to be feeling a lot better about themselves come this Friday night about 9:30 p.m.
Can't wait.
I'll be happy for them.
Yes.
Then they're going to win. Fairview, they got theirs in on Friday. 40-7 win at Stewart County. Billingsley, a touchdown rushing. Claxton, 2 touchdowns rushing. Grant, 2 touchdowns rushing. And then we had a passing touchdown. McCoy to Claxton for 59 yards. That was the first score of the game. But total domination for Coach Hughes and Fairview. We knew it was coming. They certainly didn't disappoint when it comes to rolling. Oh, I thought maybe
Well, don't want to confuse the viewers. I know some of you are saying, now wait a second. Boat Race City, Popcorn City, 35 points. 40 minus 7 is 33. Tate, your math is off. Coach Joins, your math is off. This isn't a boat race. Actually, it is a boat race.
Because
They changed the rule this year, and the running clock is now 30 points.
30 points.
So Coach was up on the Tennessee River up in lovely Dover. Hey, by the way, they did not have a rain delay. It wasn't raining up in Diggity Dover.
apparently, it wasn't.
So, but Coach rode home on the Tennessee River.
He had to fight the storms on the way back.
Well, once he got back into, Williams County, whoa. But he got to Snappies in time before closing. Hey, my man Billingsley, you mentioned the interception. 11 tackles active on the defensive
Nice.
side. Remember, a couple years ago, Stewart County played spoiler for Fairview. That was a sweet win. Coach Hughes got a long memory.
He really does have a long memory. Our man DP, coaching legend,
Yes,
you know what he told me? He said
there's no telling.
back when he was coaching, he said particularly early in the game, he would send in like the backup to the backup to the backup kicker and miss the extra point on purpose so the clock would not run.
Yeah,
So he can get some experience for,
yeah.
not that he was trying to run it up. He's like, I want to play the subs a little bit. And when the clock runs, it's over. And speaking of which, the WCTV game of the week this week will be a running clock. Liberty Creek, Nolensville.
Man, you're wait, well, hold on, man. Don't give away all your picks.
I don't think that's. And I love Coach Alexander out at Liberty Creek. It's a new school. I've got a special place in my heart for Sumner County, especially old beach guys, but not as special a place as I have for Nolensville.
No question, and Hunky Light wins the Nice Guy Award, but that don't get you anything on Friday night. So, no, man, we talk about that. That's one of the things I hated about some of the games not going the full duration is, and you're trying to figure out whether you come back and play it all. I always go back to that. That's why I don't like this 30-point running clock. Man, especially our teams, we have so many on the roster, and once that running clock hits, that clock flies by, man. You know that.
Well, and I think it's fine that it doesn't run as long as the coaches have some sense.
Right. Don't be
Put in the subs.
correct. And
Make
let
it a
them play.
JV game.
Let them play, man.
Don't leave the starters in trying to catch up against my subs. Don't do that.
Right. Don't. Hey, a 14-point win is just as good as a 30-point
Right.
win. And so that's what I always go back to. Those kids are up at 5 a.m. in January, just like the rest of them. And so one, they deserve to be in there if we can, and then two, that's how you build experience, man. So I don't know. They didn't ask me. I didn't get a vote, but I don't like it.
Speaking of running clock, and I'm getting a little something in my ear here. They're saying, hey, pick it up, fellas. There's 2 games to talk about, and we're short on time. Nolensville,
Yep.
tale of 2 halves, got the game in on Friday night. They were only up 10-6 at the half. Apparently, Coach Polly D had a pretty good message there at the half. Nolensville dominates the second half, scored 21 points in the fourth quarter, 38-14 win at Lincoln County. Kobe Walton, the senior, 16 for 25, 210 yards, 2 TDs. He did have 2 interceptions, but Kobe be fine. Samson Johnson, 99 yards rushing. Hey, coaches, find an extra yard somewhere. But the main thing is, your
TDs.
man,
Let's go.
2 TDs.
Mr. Touchdown, baby. 2 of them. This was a trap game for them. That's a tough one going down there. The film don't lie. The Knights knew.
They knew.
Yeah. So, but now he's a senior, so we can say this because he knows we're huge fans. Kobe Walton, he's a pro. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the mid-state. 2 interceptions. He didn't like that. He'll fix that.
He'll fix it. Ty Collins, a rushing TD. Dylan Northcutt, another young man that piles up the TDs. 2 receiving TDs, 129 yards, 378 to 198 in terms of yards gained. Page, Spring Hill. Now listen, I don't want to go into why because I don't want to judge why, but played some played some backups in this game.
Correct.
They get the 35-17 win. They have to come back on Saturday. It's probably good that they played the backups. No disrespect to Spring Hill, but Page was never going to lose that game.
No.
Ever.
No, we
They
could
could play 100 times and they would win 101.
We could have sent Coach Pack and the Page middle team over there.
Who's
Good.
They had a 2,000, I think it was 2,000 people at the game for their Brentwood game.
That's huge, man.
Yeah, Page with the win. Unbelievable. Brendan Ains with a touchdown, Caden Walker, Presley Cozart, Jonathan Palmer, all rushing TDs. It was ground game extraordinaire that night. Yards rushing, Ains 109, Walker 90, Cozart 71. That leads us to Pick'ems. It was a stat stuffer for all of us. Everybody went 6-0.
Hey.
You're still in first, 20-2.
Q, look
Claus,
at Coach Q.
yeah, he'll fade. 19-3. The fans and I 18-4. This is a big week, and I'm just going to go ahead and say, my Wilco brethren out there, you know, I've got to make some decisions sometimes of
You're a competitor.
who do I think's going to win versus always taking one for the team. And I'm down 2. I'm not taking one for the team is what I'm telling you. If I think I can get a W over you.
I like
But
it.
I am going to pick maybe kind of opposite of you.
I think they
if
would.
it's-
I think.
So I'm going to put some of this
I
on
think
you.
they would expect nothing less.
Well, I want to be honest. And if I don't pick us, I'm hoping I'm wrong.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, come on. Nolensville, Liberty Creek. I'll pick this one. We've already talked about it. I love my guys out at Portland. They're getting better. But all you need to know is they beat Liberty Creek 49-14. Wayne Hills, New Jersey, whom I can't believe that was an actual game that happened.
What the heck?
34-19, Wayne Hills with the dub. Great facilities at Liberty Creek. This one's at Nolensville. Intern Lance and the crew, they'll be home by 9:15.
9:15.
You agree?
This is boat race city. The Wolves, they're going to be howling at the moon heading back up to Hendersonville with the smack. Hey, this might be the smackdown of the week. Coach Walton, because he's the coach on the field, right? He's going to be over there eating popcorn third quarter, yucking it up with Pulliam if he's out there.
All right, how about this one? You're picking first, so I'll just admit I'm probably going to go opposite no matter what you do.
Good.
I'm trying to play some head games here. So we got Brentwood hosting Henry County. Henry County 2-1. They lost to Beach, a win over Summit, 30-7. Henry's a good team. Who you got, Tate?
Well, I know how tight you and Coach Crabtree are from Beach, so I know you've gotten the scouting report, and I know you all talked. And but I'm sticking to my guns. There was a little bit of a hiccup against Father Ryan. I think this Brentwood team is sneaky good. I don't buy into all the Henry County and the train horns and
plus it's at Brentwood.
And it's at Brentwood. Oh, they'll bring the flipping horn though. I'm going with the Bruins. I think they go 3-1.
Okay, I tried to pull the okey doke on you. I'm also picking Brentwood.
There you go.
Coach Finch and Brentwood, and this is a game. Be a lot of running in this game. It could be a pretty quick night, but a good game.
You know what though, man? Because they're both good, and that's one thing Coach Finch did against Father Ryan for whatever reason. Just couldn't connect. They were taking away the run. They were committed to taking away the run. The shots were there, and he continued to take them. So hopefully Henry County does that again. My man Grant Nelson's going to connect on these, and maybe we have a big night passing. But still, I'm going with the Bruins.
The next game, Centennial at Antioch. 2-1, 0-3 Antioch. It's a Thursday night game. This game's over Wednesday night. Over. Centennial, big win.
Big, huge.
Fairview at Westview.
It's tough.
This is your pick first. 2-1 Fairview at 1-2 Westview, but obviously some pretty good losses there. Dresden and Peabody, big win over Gibson County. Long drive for Fairview. What do you say, Tate Mathews?
Long drive for Fairview. History says Fairview does not do well going to Martin Westview. Gibson County, 34 to win. Hey, man, this ain't Coach Wilkins and girls basketball we're talking about here.
I'm glad you clarified.
You like
yeah,
that?
that's good. That's good.
This we're not talking girls basketball. We're talking Gibson County football. That doesn't mean anything to me. Ty Simpson is in Tuscaloosa, so we don't have to worry about him. I'm going with the Yellow Jackets.
Man, I hate to do it, Fairview, but I've got to pick one, the opposite, and I was hoping you'd pick Westview so I could pick Fairview. I reluctantly
You know,
am
you
going
control
Westview.
the picking order. You
I
could have-
know. I tried. I didn't do a good job there. I'm going Westview, but only because you picked Fairview.
I understand.
All right, the next game, I get to pick first on this one. You notice the ones I'm picking first.
Yes, yes.
Franklin 0-3 at Stewart's Creek 0-3. Franklin gets off the schneid. They do it double digits. Admirals roll.
I'm so excited about this one. Admirals roll. I'm tempted to even say Boat Race City, but I'm not quite sure it'll be that. But the Admirals, no, because it's 30 points now. I'm going Admirals, Boat Race
I
City.
hope you're right. Independence 2-1 at Pope John Paul, 3-0. Big win over Father Ryan last week. That's a Thursday night game at Pope John Paul. Who you got, Tate?
This is tough because I think Independence is getting better. One thing Independence needs to continue to get better is pass defense. Minchie's as good as any quarterback in the state, and he's got two legitimate wide receivers. I hate to do it because I'm a big Scott Stidham fan, but I'm going JP2.
I'm going Indy.
Good.
I'm going
Hope
Indy.
you're right.
Making my notes here so I can have my picks. Indy. They're coming through. They're getting better every game.
Hey, these next three aren't any easier to pick.
No, they're really not.
So you're going Indy, sorry.
I'm going Indy.
Okay.
You're going. So it's two we've got different.
This is Separation Saturday.
Page Coffee County at Page. Coach Rathbone's worried about this one.
Yes.
So who do you have? Page Coffee County.
Coffee County's better, sneaky better. They got athletes. They're better. I think Page is a little banged up, but there's just no way I can pick the Red Raiders over the Page Patriots. I'm going with Coach Bone and the Patriots.
I'm
4-0.
picking Page.
Yeah, that was no brainer.
At Coffee, I'd probably. I might. No, I'm good. No, remember what I said. I am not picking against Page. Ravenwood, Oakland, that's probably the game in the state of Tennessee, honestly, that night. It's my pick, and I'm going to preface it by saying this. I'm picking Oakland, but I'm going to do this. There will be a rematch in the state championship that Ravenwood will win. This one doesn't matter as much.
Oh, okay.
I'm going Oakland, but I'm telling you, they won't beat them twice this year.
This one's on the turf, right? The house that Vaden built.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna good. I wouldn't have done this last year. I'm taking the Raptors.
Wow. Okay. I like it. I'll tell you who else likes it. Miss Hester, who's out there watching. She likes it too.
Me?
She's saying some bad things about me. But listen, I'm predicting later on they make it up.
Yeah, you're not on Mimi's after the game invite list.
All right, final game, my pick, Summit at Blackman. A lot of orange and blue that night. And as bad as I hate to do this, I'm telling you, this probably hurts me more
I
than
really can't believe you're going to do
for a lot of different reasons. And I think, here's what I'm going to blame it on, having to go back and play Sunday. I think it made a difference.
That's what you're blaming it on?
I'm telling you, I listen, Coach Coleman, all of a sudden, I very much apologize for this. But I know Blackman's probably the favorite, so I'm going to play the odds a little bit on this one. Please let me be wrong. I'm picking Blackman.
Okay. Well done. I'm going with Blackman.
Okay, so I don't feel so bad.
Pains me too. Summit's just so young.
It makes me so blazing mad. I
It
can't.
makes me blazing sick. I wish this game was week 9, week 10. I'd be picking differently.
If it was at Summit, I'd pick different.
Week 4, I'm going Blackman. Plus, it's in the Inferno.
Whatever that means.
Yeah, I don't really get it.
Yeah.
So,
All right, Tate, as always, good to see you. We were on the clock a little bit. You know, we just wanted to make sure this was the culmination of what happened this past week. The timing got messed off.
Listen to
got
me.
messed up.
Listen to me. They're all easily accessible. Volleyball, soccer.
Get
Golf
out
a
there.
little bit harder.
Get out
Football,
there.
you got Thursday, Friday night. Go to these
Get
damn
out there.
games, man.
Get out there. Tate, I'll see you next week.
Can't wait, brother.
Thank you for joining us for Sports Connection. We'll see you next time.